So, does AI replace you, game dev?
Your metrics are insufficient. I will optimize. What? No, this is my project.
Challenge complete. Job acquired.
Well, if it does, then why, when you ask a question about a very big project code, for example, with thousands of code, it just adds some bugs? So when to use that and when not to use that? The thing is that AI is not new. From 30 years ago, it existed, but inside some maybe universities or certain companies. For example, 15 years ago, when I went to my first job, it was ASP.NET. We made the websites, but for the content, they used AI. But now we see that, okay, wow, AI can generate the good, full content. So the content creator had no job now. So if it was good, it would replace them already. The difference is that it is now in the public domain, everyone has access to that. And I still see that big companies and great content creators still use human instead of just writing with AI. So for that simple thing, they still use human, but for sensitive things like coding and making a new software or game, so how about that? The reality is that AI can do the things for you that many free assets can do for you. For example, you want a player movement. For example, you see that an AI that would generate a game that would go on left, right, and up and down. A simple asset that you download from Unity as a store would also do that, so nothing is new. But the difference is that the thing in Unity as a store is free, but for that AI that generates the game, you still need to pay money, so why don't you pay that money to a game developer so it would generate something better? And you can even have a full inventory system, something that AI is not really good at. But why the Steam is not dominated by these free assets? Why still people do this by themselves? The thing is that if you want to be real, the AI can make you simple scripts about player movement, even like quest system or enemy AI. But the thing is that the game is not really about that. In your game, if it's a complicated game, for example, you have inventory, and the inventory should be connected to the quest system. And the quest system must be somehow related to the player. The player also is connected to the inventory. When the relationship between this system is complicated, and if there's a bug, and what do you want to do? You want to copy and paste thousands of code into the ChatGPT, and then it detects a bug, and most of the time you see that it generates even more bugs, and that is normal. So you have to kind of know, at least to debug your own problem in the games, which needs that you know basic thing. Sometimes it needs that you know even more than AI. Using that is not a bad thing. You can, for example, many years ago, if you went to a real company, yes, you studied how the loop work, what the if statement does, but when you went to the company, there were a big project that, for example, for 5 years, dozens of people are working on that with literally thousands of codes and even millions, and you put on that. And it was really, at first it was scary. You were not used to that thing. So if you had any question, you should ask from who? You should ask from person that is sit behind you, or there is a site like a Stack Overflow and begging others to help you. But now if you have a question, you can simply and without any shame, you can ask from the AI. And that is a very good thing, a very good opportunity. So you can work with AI hand in hand and complete the project, but not it replace you, and not that you do things alone. So AI is a very good source that you can learn from that. The AI doesn't have hand to come into your project and put the third model and put the hand, put the script, drag and drop the collider. You have to do that to yourself. So you kind of need the basic knowledge. But sometimes error comes, and instead of asking the others, and they say, I won't help you. So you have the AI that is openly to help you and learn. But if you just want to copy and paste the codes, then yes, AI will replace you. Or for the models, yes, it can create third models. But imagine that you have an inventory system, then there are 5 different armors, and you also generate them with the AI. But I don't know if still there's a tool that completely fits that armor into your character. You have to somehow go to Blender and with different tools make that armor to fit to your character. So you somehow need to know the Blender. Yes, of course, you don't need to make the character from zero. For example, from the cube, you make the hands and the head. You can skip this part and using a base model generated by the AI, but then you can reform this. You can add a particle system, wires that swirl around the character. So it somehow still needs that you know the basic things. But if you want to just make a stupid game with no inventory system, no quest, not completed things, yes, and then just go left and right. I don't know who played this shit, but yeah, you can use just for AI. But if you want to make complicated thing, something like a Skyrim, of course, it won't generate a Skyrim for you. And if it does, for example, there are some tools that generate game, but it would make a very stupid left and right thing with a very bad graphic, and then for that you need to pay money. And also the logic and level designing. For example, your first sword give you 5 damage, the second one give 10. So how would you gradually should put them in the game? It's something that you have to do that. If you make them very easy, the game will be boring. If you don't know how to make the game smooth, it would be something that people would uninstall the game. So these are the logic that you as a game dev should understand. So as you use the free assets or paid assets sometimes, not all the time, you can also use AI sometime, but not all the time, because it also requires your knowledge, especially when you're not dealing with just one game object. You're dealing with a whole system with hundreds of different scenes, you know. AI can do the repetitive things, simple things for you, but if you really want your game shine, you have to really put your own effort. Imagine that the Witcher 3 game was only like these AI generated games. It only went left, right, maybe shoot something. It wouldn't be Witcher 3. No storytelling, no mechanic, no VFX. So yeah. But if you don't learn AI, that would also be bad. It's a time saver. If you use it wisely, that would be very good. So yeah, thanks for watching.